Rockstar Energy. It gets me energized so I can go out and send it. Hustle on.
That's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. You can't tell me shit now. That's just how it goes.
I've come a long way. I've been knocked down, knocked out. And I'm not going to quit until I get to where I want to be. This is for my legacy, and I'm ready to go further than anyone's gone before. I'm giving everybody my word. At 7 p.m. at the Thunderdome, I'm going. Going over 183 foot to get the world record on a 550-pound Harley-Davidson with 3 inches of travel. That's about as wild as it gets on 2 wheels. When it comes to it, you're doing something that's life-threatening. Your body's telling you not to go. It's trying to save you. But at some point, you're sitting on the runway and it's time to go, and that's when you have to be really good at turning the care switch off and just saying, screw it, here we go, whatever happens, happens. I feel like I'm ready to risk it and see where I land.
Welcome to the Thunderdome. That's right, we are breaking records. This is Raw Hot Live. We are about to get raw. This is fueled by Rockstar Energy drink. The Thunderdome is bringing the heat. You know the backdrop, Sturgis, 85 years. People have been rallying, they've been racing, and now they are high-flying, about to break some world records. I mean, the hair is standing on my arms, and I know they are standing on this fine gentleman that has seen so many amazing things. 1 wheel, 2 wheels, 4 wheels, but specifically 2 wheels here tonight. Tess Sewell, I'm Jared Deanda. Tess, you've called a lot of the action over the years, all the different action sports, and you've seen some amazing things. But where does this stack up in your mind?
Well, this one's amazing. Tonight, it's a V-Twin Harley jump attempt that Colby Raha is going to do. He's going for 200 feet. He really wants to beat Seth Enslow's record of 183.7 feet. And what a place to do it in, Sturgis. There's 500,000 motorcycle fans out here, and it is just an insane place to be.
I'll tell you what, about an hour ago, live music, cool, people are going by. They're triple parked on the side of the road. They're illegally parked because guess what? They want to see some history. So we are absolutely excited to have you around the world. We are live. So call your grandma, call your grandpa, tell your grandchildren, because this is going to be legendary. We're making history. Again, Tess, the numbers that are at stake here. Again, we're going for a world record. A name like Evil, it's not evil, it's love. Because if you really listen to Colby Raha's story, it's about respect. It's about loyalty. He's a man of his word. He's about family. Tess?
Well, I think what we say about Colby is he's a blue-collar guy, right? He really wants to kind of make the best of what he's got. He doesn't have to have everything given to him with a silver spoon. He's going to go out and make his own luck and make his own fortune. And he's coming here tonight, but this is a real challenge. So the jumps that are behind us, he's only got about 700 feet of in-run to get that bike up to 77 miles an hour. Just think about that. If you were on a freeway, that is not very much space. Yeah. He then hits the ramps. The ramps are only about 145 feet apart, but he's trying to get that bike up fast enough so it'll fly all the way to the landing. And like we said, trying to beat 183 feet, but hoping to get to 200. Couple of big challenges, though. He's jumping right into the sun right now as the sun's going down in Sturgis. And the other thing is that you've got to be ready with that bike. You've got to be on it at 77, but you've got to be calm before you make a jump like this.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about silver spoon. He wasn't born with a silver spoon. He was handed a rusty shovel. That's his tool outside of the motorcycles. But the big question is why? You know, why is he doing this? Like I said, it's respect. So as we talk about Colby and what he's about to do, sign autographs, high-fiving, he's a showman, but he's also about to be another record breaker.
The reason why I'm on this mission to break records is because I grew up watching Evel Knievel. I grew up watching daredevils such as Trigger Gum, you know, Doug Danger, Seth Enslow, Travis Pastrana.
reputation. Better call it tradition. Cause I'm in the nation. Yeah, this is my vision.
As I grown to build skills in this industry and got better over the years, I understand how to go further. I feel like the question is, who's willing to risk danger of going this big for the price?
There's no reputation.
I'm comfortable with the risk. I understand how to achieve these world records, and I don't want to play the what if game of telling my son when I'm older that, hey, I could have broke these world records and I chose not to. I feel like living a life without pushing the limits, it gets boring for me. I feel like I'm ready to risk it and see where I land.
All right, let's bring in another member of our team. She's from San Diego, California. She knows how to ride a dirt bike. Kristen Beat is about 200 feet away from us right now. Kristen?
Last night, Colby Raha and the Senders Only team ran multiple horsepower tests, calibrating the speedometer. They were here from midnight until 5 a.m. establishing their metrics. Now they realize there is a point of critical mass. Colby Raha has to hit the in-run ramp at 77 miles an hour or more to reach the previous record of 183 feet, where I'm at right now. But this is not the goal here tonight. The goal is rather 200 feet. Now let's put that into perspective. 200 feet, 32 cars, side by side by side. 2 blue whales from head to tail. And guys, he's doing all of this on a 500-pound motorcycle that is 25 years old with no modern modifications with exception to the exhaust. Colby Raha told me he is ready, he is prepared, and the conditions are right to make this attempt, guys.
Thank you so much, Kristen. You know, and what's really cool for me is Colby, like I said, family plays a major role for him. So his origin story is really from two wheels, but more of human powered as opposed to horse powered. So his origin story, you know, is all about BMX. But, you know, when it comes to numbers, what's your favorite number there? 2 whales or buildings, or what's your favorite?
I think in that 200 feet comparison, I love the Leaning Tower of Pisa. 1, because I've been there, because I'm very fortunate, and 2, because it makes me think of pizza, and I'm actually hungry right now. we'll get you fed right after this, and we're going to feed you some horsepower here in just a little bit. But like I talked about, the origin story of where Mr. Raha, or Colby Raha, the son of Raha, as let's take a look back at Colby's origin story.
I was raised up in the mountains of Palmdale in a town called Acton, California, and I grew up riding my dirt bike a few days a week minimal. And when I wasn't riding my dirt bike, I was out riding BMX. We had a ton of dirt jumps in my town. My Oma would take me to X Games every summer, and we would race motocross all year long. Growing up, getting into construction and not really having a future in motocross racing, looking at the big picture, still loved action sports, fell in love with free riding motocross. X Games, quarter pipe, you know, I had success in that.
This gentleman right here just happens to own 4 gold medals. It's Colby Raha.
Oh, you could hear the bike. He gave it everything he had.
52.6. What did I tell you? On the last run, Colby Raha has done it yet again. Are you kidding me?
Looking at the future and things that I want to check off the list before I'm done here riding, and some of these distance jumps, I can achieve them, and I think that I have the team and the know-how and the guts to do it, so couldn't be more honored to go for a huge world record here at Sturgis.
Alongside the man himself, Dwayne Raha, first of all, a former motocross rider, a former BMX rider. You allowed your son to pursue this, but what has it been like sharing a love of 2 wheels with him?
Well, it all started when he was about 3 years old. He was riding a 2-wheel bike, and I had him jumping over me. Now we're here, and he's jumping, what, 200 feet? I didn't think this journey would get us, I didn't think that would start this journey of where we're at today. But I'm really proud of them. We've had a lot of fun racing motorcycles and spending a lot of time on the road doing the national circuit. But I never dreamt of this. This is new for me. So I can say that I have jitters that I've never had before, but I'm confident that he'll be able to, achieve his goals that he's looking to do and have a lot of fun with it. So.
He has a deep love and admiration of Evel Knievel. You know the family very closely. You golf with the Knievels. What is it like to see your son now pursue this path and follow in Evel's footsteps?
Well, I never thought that little Evel Knievel toy that you wind up, that'd be my son. I didn't have that in my vision as a youngster, but that's really what it come down to. I mean, I was a big Evel Knievel fan, as all kids were back then, but now here I am living the dream of Evel Knievel, right? I mean, it's not what I thought, but it's pretty exciting. I mean, it's nerve-wracking, but I'm really, again, very confident in my son's ability to do these stunts, so it'll be fun.
What are the conversations that you've had with Colby surrounding this event? What advice have you given him? What sort of feedback have you given him going into such a major moment?
All of it is based on, strategy, numbers, ramp angles, speed. It's all business. There's no, hey, I think you can do it. No, we're doing it to where I know he can do it. So it's not a question of we cross our fingers and hope. We know where he'll make it. It's just a matter of, him having the confidence to do it in front of a crowd like this. I mean, this is massive, right? It's not like in the backyard where you relax. It's like when you're playing golf with your friends, it's easy. But when you're in a tournament, you freeze up and you throw one out of bounds. He can't throw one out of bounds on this one. He's got to land it and stick that landing. So he's got it. You see him at X Games. You know what he does, right?
Absolutely, and thank you so much for your time. I know this is out of your comfort zone, but we're going to toss it back up to the booth with the guys where Colby is sitting with them now.
Well, first and foremost, he casually said golfing, and I say casually, you wonder where Colby gets his mellow demeanor at. It's from Dwayne, but your dad and the Knievels go golfing now. But Colby, join us here in the booth. Live free, ride free. That's your motto. Kids are looking up to you now, man. You're about to be 31 years old this month. And look at what you've already accomplished, but how special is this for you?
Yeah, this is it's amazing, really. This was just an idea I had about a year or two ago. I wanted to get into this type of stuff. I wanted to get my feet wet in jumping Harleys. I built a setup out at my property I bought in Hellendale, California, in the desert. We tested it there. And I've been pitching it and talking to sponsors and putting it together, and this is ideal of what I had imagined. Had a lot of success in X Games. I'm still competing. I just won my 7th gold medal about a month ago, but this is the real deal. This is the biggest stage, and chasing it's the Knievel lane, man. So yeah, I'm honored.
And you know what we see here next to us? I mean, this is an ocean of calm right before this massive moment, but you go back to what Evel Knievel would do. Do you remember the first time you saw Evel and when you got the itch to do something like this?
Yeah, I grew up watching him, so I think my dad was saying he would turn off the cartoons and put on Supercross and Evel Knievel stuff like that. So I don't remember the first time, but I do remember growing up watching him, and I think it's like you check the boxes, you go see what you can do in X Games, and now I'm 30, and it's, if not when, if not now, when. So I'm ready to get after it. This is this is probably the biggest jump, record, live stage, all the above, but next up, we're going bigger after this, so we're gonna keep it moving.
And what's really cool is here we're watching what you've done in quarter ramp jumping in itself is remarkable, but then you just stack more and more, changing bikes, changing equipment, and we'll get to your equipment here because it's pretty simple and pretty straightforward, but the advancements, the progression, what would Evel Knievel look at you now if he had, I mean, that's what's crazy about it. And then, like I said, it's a family affair. Your mom had no problem. That was a record. Walk us through that. Your mom was chill.
Yeah. Yep, so one of the records I wanted to check off the list was the Tandem distance record. It held at 120 foot, and I had the setup to do it, and I wanted to do it with a girl on the back, you know, not a dude. So I gave my mom priority. Hey, Mom, you want to jump the world record? She didn't even ask how far. She didn't ask when, none of that. She just agreed to it immediately. Yes, I want to do it with you. And, you know, we jumped small stuff in the past, just little ramp hits like 10 foot, 20 footers. But I told her, hold on tight. I get grip tape on the seat. She said, what do I wear? And my grandma sewed up a matching Evel Knievel style leather coat for her, and we hit it. And we went barely too short of the record the first time, so we actually hit it twice in a row.
Legend. All right, so the task tonight is what, and how did you prepare for it?
Yeah, like I said, I started out at my property, Rawville, testing it, getting numbers, and then taking that model, adding a little bit less of a steep landing, drawing it out a little further, and taking all the designs from there, bringing it here. Brian Farrell built the ramp. We got it set up. The in-run's shorter than my property. That's the difficult part. I can barely get up to speed. It's only 700-foot in-run, so trying to get up to 77 miles an hour in that short of a distance is the hardest part. Once you're pointed at the ramp, you're committed. There's no turning out because you're barely getting up to speed right before the toe of the ramp, and you're holding on. You're along for the ride. I feel confident. We jumped, almost broke the record last night, I should say this morning. Because it rained till 1 a.m. We didn't have time to practice before that. So, you know, we dried the ramp out, me and my crew, and 2 a.m. we got to jumping, and we didn't stop till it was about daylight. So, but I'm feeling good about it. It's really gnarly. It doesn't take away from how dangerous it is. That bike's not made for jumping, I can tell you that.
Well, you're gonna jump it, and that's the crazy thing, and that's why Tess, he's seen a lot of these things. You know, we're a little gray in the beard there. Hats off to you, man. You're an absolute legend. In the flesh. Thank you for what you do. We're here watching.
Well, thank you guys. I'm really honored to be here in Sturgis. It's a beautiful town. This is an insane rally. You know, no better place to do it than here. And man, this crowd showing up is amazing. I'm so stoked on the support, and I'm ready. So let's get it done.
There it is. Well, without further ado, go get ready, man.
Okay. Thanks,
Throw on
guys.
that signature jacket.
All right.
And talking about that jacket, the graphics is an homage to Evel Knievel. Like he said, his dad turned off the cartoons and turned on a real-life superhero, Evel Knievel. Evil might mean evil, but at the end of the day, it's love. Love from Colby Raha, and Evel Knievel spread his love language that is jumping two wheels. So let's take a look back again, the respect that Colby has for Evel Knievel.
There's been a lot of daredevils that have done huge jumps. It all began with Evel Knievel. You know, that's who I grew up watching. He's the king and the creator of all daredevil motorcycle jumps. Evel's showmanship speaks for itself. Above all that, it's, you know, to jump on a Harley before anyone else has done it and go the distances he went and risk it. Talking like ramps that the angles weren't perfectly set up, and he was paving the way, so he didn't even know what the angles were supposed to be, but that didn't stop him from just holding the throttle wide open, you know, with no radar, no mile per hour, no gauge, just sending it. That's daredevil as it gets. So I think that's why you see a lot of guys like myself, Pastrana, and others paying homage and doing replica jumps.
Well, we got another special guest here. Look, we are 3, 4, 5 bikes deep. But Tess, we got a legend right here, Daredevil Doug. He's like a historian. I feel like we should grab a knee and some orange slices because he's going to give us some education, but he doesn't talk about it, he beats about it as well, Tess.
No, and you think about this, we've gone from this new young daredevil that's up and coming to, you know, a legend in this space. And Doug, you've been through all of this. You've been through the full arc of what this kind of life is like. Can you explain to us how first somebody gets into it, but then what it's like to live a life as rich as yours has been?
Well, I'm just really lucky. I've always loved motorcycles my whole life, and in 1971, when the George Hamilton movie came out with Evel Knievel, I found out who he was, and oh my God, it just changed my life. The guy in white leathers wearing a cape flying through the air. I mean, it's been said before, but it was life-changing. And then I just started following it from there. And I lived in California, where it was conducive to motorcycle jumping, and a lot of jumpers came out of there. And I just kept going and meeting the people. And then I started my own stunt show and learning the tricks and riding wheelies. And, you know, I literally lived the dream, you know.
How cool is it seeing the progression here of the bikes and how I'm just going to call it, how archaic this looks, but still so impressive. You've seen the equipment and now the progression. And I'm going to touch on this real quick because Colby just said it. This bike ain't meant for jumping, but he's still going to jump it. How crazy is that to you? Seeing the progression, seeing your buddy Evil, and now here's Colby doing his thing.
No, this is crazy. You know, back in the day, a 200-foot jump was unheard of, and that was on a dirt bike. You know, it's a big deal, and it still is a big deal. But, you know, he's coming down on a V-Twin air-cooled Harley. You know, and the heavier a machine is, it's the mass. It's going to hit harder, you know, and harder and harder and harder and harder to hold on to.
But the special thing about it, though, is he's making this history here in Sturgis.
Oh, yeah.
A place that beloved by motorcycle riders and obviously beloved by you.
Oh, no, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen here in Sturgis, yeah. They love it all. They love daredevils. They love bikes, and we love it, too, and that's why we're here. And just I wish everybody the best. Can't wait for the show.
Yeah, it's 85 years. It says it on your shirt there. Go grab the merch, right? But you know, people make the trek here. You know, there's the Good Ride, which we're gonna have Carrie Hart here in just a little bit. I mean, there's some amazing philanthropic efforts that go down here. It's not just dudes and gals riding bikes. It's a community. It's a culture.
Oh yeah.
So I think that's why Colby really wanted to cut into that. And like I said, the respect runs deep. And you know, 2 fingers down. Hey, what's cracking? What's going on? I think it's just really cool. I mean, shoot, they got electric Harleys now. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It is what it is. But are you excited to see what Colby's going to do next? Because it's got past, present, and future. What do you think Colby's going to do next?
Oh, I'm not sure. One stepping stone at a time, you know. But the guy's on a tear.
Right.
I mean, unbelievable tear. He breaks the world ramp to ground record in Palm Springs a few short weeks ago. Then goes straight to the X Games, wins the gold medal on a Hail Mary last try.
Yep.
And now we're here. That's the trifecta of daredevilry.
Yeah.
You know, right here in Sturgis, where it's supposed to be.
I mean, you called it, man. I mean, again, from the wall of death, I mean, to the native land, going through the ember, the wall of fire. A lot of things have happened here over the years, and I think this is just something special. Using technology, I know the Sarloses, the Melnicks are tuning in, the Diendas. I mean, Tess, I'm sure you have, you know, all your English friends.
All the English friends, I'm sure the entire country is tuned in for this. And what I love, what you said there, the trifecta of daredevilry, and this is kind of the sweet number 3 payoff that we're going to have tonight.
Yeah.
And we really appreciate you coming.
All in a short few weeks, too. I mean, it's unprecedented.
Yeah, and like you said, there's just so many different elements to this. You know, Mother Nature, the ramps being properly built. You know, there's math to it. They might seem all cool and, you know, metal, but there's some math to it. And there's another element. It's a game of inches, talking about the inches between your ears, the mental capacity. How can you conquer the fear? Let's take a look.
Yeah, I think people probably think that I'm crazy or kind of a psycho for going for this type of stuff. To give myself the best results, put your mind into it and do all the hard work of like studying what is going to give you your best chance at landing it. So I try to prepare the best I can, but when it comes down to it, you know, if you're nervous and you're freaking out, that you're really just giving yourself a worse opportunity of landing the jump. You stick to the plan and your numbers are right and you've prepared properly, you should have faith that you're going to land it. But when it comes to it, you know, you're doing something that's life-threatening. Your body's telling you not to go. It's trying to save you. But at some point, you know, you're sitting on the runway and it's time to go. And that's when you have to be really good at turning the care switch off and just saying, you know, screw it, here we go. Whatever happens, happens.
for? Now I got the chance. Oh, why I must have missed my bell. In the nighttime, in the daytime, I will make time. Give me up all night. Give me up all night.
I've come a long way. I've been knocked down, knocked out. And I'm not gonna quit until I get to where I want to be. This is for my legacy, and I'm ready to go further than anyone's gone before. I'm giving everybody my word. At 7 p.m. at the Thunderdome, I'm going.
Welcome back to the Thunderdome, where Colby Raha will attempt to make history here tonight. Guys, every year, 500,000 motorcycle enthusiasts descend upon the city of Sturgis, South Dakota. One of those riders here tonight, 11,000 miles into his ride, a legend in rock, the former host of Headbangers Ball on MTV, also a racing fanatic himself, Ricky Rackman. Ricky, you've seen a lot of history when it comes to music, rock and roll, and racing. How would you describe the environment here tonight?
This is something completely different. This isn't AI. This isn't something fake. This guy's risking his life, jumping on a Harley-Davidson, more like the way that Evel Knievel did. So I saw Evel Knievel when I was a kid, and when you watch it, you get anxiety. You can't help but shake a little bit because, you know, we're just hoping for the best. But 200 feet on that bike is pretty amazing.
Ricky, what song would you choose for your ride-out song?
Am I Going Insane from Black Sabbath, because it just starts kind of mellow with a keyboard, and then when it kicks in, it's just like full throttle, and it's just like, yeah, Black Sabbath.
Ricky, thanks so much for showing up and hanging out with us here tonight. Always a pleasure, guys. You never know who you're going to find here in Sturgis, South Dakota, supporting Colby Raha.
Absolute legend. I know he rides with Kyle Petty in. He's been doing 11,000 miles, and of course, Sabbath. You know, obviously, R.I.P. Ozzy Osbourne. What a legend. Speaking of legends, Sender's Only Garage join us. We got Joey and Brendan. You guys helped build this bike.
Yes, sir.
But, I'm setting you up here. Building the bike is kind of an understatement or overstatement because it's a fairly OE, like, pretty core bike. Elaborate a little bit on the build.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is very raw, you know. There's no, like, you know, no crazy suspension, conventional suspension, and, you know, spoked wheels. You know, the bike is very evil inspired, very raw, and it takes a lot of homework to jump a bike like this, you know.
What actually did you customize? Because, again, Kristen was down there inspecting. She's like, guys, it's practically stock, except...
We just made it look cool, man. It was Colby's vision, and we were just blessed enough to bring it to life. So there's not a part on this bike that you can't go get yourself and build and get out there and have a good time.
But I mean, you think about this from a practical build perspective. There must be things that you've done. It looks like the pipe is slightly higher, maybe to give you a little bit of clearance, because when he lands, I mean, he's going to bottom out on all of that suspension with 500 pounds of mass landing on that ramp.
Yeah, we did do a custom pipe, obviously, like you just said, for ground clearance. Make sure there's nothing hitting the ground when he comes down. Some stiffer springs, some, you know, stiffer rear shocks, but it's all pretty true to how the Harley came off the showroom floor, and that's what he wanted.
And, you know, this is an older bike, too. It's not just off the showroom floor. This is kind of, like you said, it's really true to the Evel Knievel spirit, right? I mean, what year is it again?
Yeah, it's 2000, 25 years old.
And why'd you choose that, not just get, like, a new bike?
You know, that's something we talked about, and, you know, it was just like we were talking about, that raw vibe, that evil vibe. You know, it's real killer looking, real sleek, and to the point.
We're trying to pay homage, not change the game. We want to do what Evel did and do it our own way, but pay respect to him.
Yeah. You know, and again, I liked what Ricky Rackman, this ain't AI. This is tangible. Look, Tess is in the flesh, right?
But we've been talking about, you know, the weight of this bike. You know, everybody's used to dirt bikes jumping through the air, and, you know, they weigh like 220 pounds. But this bike, how much does it weigh, really, fully laden?
Oh, I mean, you're looking like high 4s, you know, maybe low 5s. You know, it's a very heavy bike.
And we've been talking about this. It's kind of like people at home go into the kitchen, look at your refrigerator. That's kind of the weight of this bike.
It takes a special human, and Colby's been nothing but a treat to work with, and him and his pops are just magicians, and we're just lucky to be there.
And, you know, you guys didn't just build this, throw him on it. Again, as cool and chill as he is, he's got a lot going on up there. You can almost see the smoke coming out of his ears. You can see the dirt flying because you guys have been doing some work at the compound, the lab. This is a place unlike any other. This is a special playground for him. Let's learn more about a place that is very fantastic. It's magical. It's called Rawville.
Rawville, it's my last name without the A, so it's Raw. And what that is I needed property to build and spread my wings and go bigger and not be held back by investing in other people's land or permits or liability. I needed land that I own, that I could go as big as I want. And I built the biggest quarter pipe landing on the planet and the biggest quarter pipe takeoff ramp, and I'm reaching record heights weekly out there, and just getting comfortable going bigger in a place where I could practice jumping Harleys and a place where I could practice distance jumps and really figure out the angles that I need in order to break records. Now I have Rawville to practice and really dial in my numbers out there and then bring them to the biggest stage in the world. And this one happens to be Sturgis, South Dakota, for the biggest motorcycle rally in the world. 700,000 plus people. What better place to jump a Harley-Davidson, you know, close to 200 foot, break a world record. Rockstar Energy gets me energized so I can go out and send it. Hustle on.
That's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. You can't tell me shit now. That's just how it goes.
I've come a long way. I've been knocked down, knocked out. I'm not going to quit until I get to where I want to be. This is for my legacy, and I'm ready to go further than anyone's gone before. I'm giving everybody my word. At 7 p.m. at the Thunderdome, I'm going.
Joining us here again, making some history. It is going to be a first, and that's what we're talking about. Our guest here has done something first as well, but it's so rad to have him here. Mr. Carrie Hart. Tess, you said, dude, I want to talk to Carrie about this, and what is that?
Obviously, you know the highs and the lows of the game of motorcycling, and doing something where you're trying to establish a record or break something, and obviously in firsts, backflip in a dirt bike.
Yeah, it's a crazy journey. I can only imagine what Raha's going through. Like I fought my own demons and battles through it all, as you guys both know. It took a few years to kind of solidify the path, and yeah, it's just great to see what Raha's doing.
What do you make of seeing a V-Twin do this? Because again, you ride your V-Twin a lot. You know, your big bike, small bike. I mean, we just talked off camera here. You take handlebars to the chest. I've seen your journey medically. I was with Travis in England. I was like, hey, is that X-ray real? He's like, that's not real. Whatever. Everybody's saying that. But for him to do this on a damn near OE bike, it's really impressive.
I mean, absolutely, but I think what's more impressive along with that is just watching his journey, right? Like he does the X Games, he does the quarter pipe stuff, but then you see what he does on street stuff, you see what he does in video shoots, and now stepping up doing V-Twin long distance jumping. I will say he might make his life a little easier if he's doing it on an Indian motorcycle, but what can I say about that?
And look at that, Indian just called. I mean, again, this is his style. He's, I mean, his poached videos, where he paid respect to Ken Block. This is the man. Look, he's stepping outside of the trailer. He's got crafties in there. It might have just been goldfish. I don't know. But that's just the kind of dude he is. And like I said, the respect runs so deep for him.
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, with his career path, he could just kind of lean back on, all right, cool, I got an X Games event, I got this event. But he's always out pushing himself, pushing the boundaries. And really, I don't want to sound like an old dinosaur, but like we had our evolution period when I was competing heavily, and he's taking the reins now, and now he's making his own evolution in the sport. And that's what I really respect about what he's doing.
people respect you and what you've done. Again, you're not a dinosaur. You're not fossil fuel yet. You're not. People aren't riding your bikes with you, but they are riding their bikes with you because Good Ride. That's your effort. You and Big B's over here. You can't miss them in the crowd. What is Good Ride for those that don't know?
Yeah, so for many people that may not know, I transitioned to the V-Twin footprint about 9 years ago, and we started a charity where we raise money for veterans. This is one of 3 rides we do a year. We have about 71 vets riding with us tomorrow for free. Other paid entrants. We have amazing sponsors that support our charity. This is our 9th year, and we're just doing our part.
It's really amazing. Tess, I mean, Carrie, like I said, has played such an instrumental role. I mean, we did Gumball 3000 back in the day. We've done. I mean, it's amazing to see where it's at. What do you expect from Colby in the future? Because just the way, like Danger Doug said, there's just back to back to back. To go to flat on a dirt bike, to do this, change it all up. What do you expect?
I mean, with Raha, the sky's the limit. Obviously, the things that he's doing and the bar that he's setting for himself. I mean, I'm really excited to see where he goes. I mean, if this is what he's doing, just a couple of jumps in, I mean, he's going to be pushing some serious distance in the future.
I mean, you're looking at this, though, on a V-Twin, you just think about this, 200 feet. You've got to sail that thing. And you know, especially with these bikes, once you get them off the ground, that tail kind of wants to drop down. You know, you've got records from Evel Knievel. He's going today, Colby's going for sets, 183.7 feet. What do you think it's going to feel like once he takes off that ramp? What's the bike going to do?
Well, that's the thing about the difference with this and a motocross bike. With a motocross bike, you're able to load the chassis. You have suspension. When you're jumping any kind of a motocross bike, you're not running with stock suspension. You got really stiff suspension, so you have that rebound to play with, along with once he's airborne, you get a lot more action. Like you can move your body around on a 450 or a 250 motocross bike. You know, you can tap the back brake. He's really limited on what he can actually do. He's just really along for the ride.
I'm taking a look at these stats here, and Evel Knievel, 1971, 129 feet over 19 cars. That was on a 750. Seth Enslow, obviously, very recently. That was, I mean, I say recently, 15 years ago, but 183-foot world record, custom-built Harley, so a different iteration. And then Doug Danger here, 2015, just 10 years ago, 75th anniversary, broke Evel's record. I mean, just the stats are really cool. And how cool is it to see somebody? I was talking to one of the camera guys. He's talking about how Doug really, you know, he's been there for so many different generations of stunters. But
I got the mayor of Sturgis right here. I'm honored to be here.
Thank you very much, everyone, for attending this Record Breakers event. And to jump, Raha, you're going to rip things. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here. This, for me, is maybe reliving my childhood. I'm of the age where I watched Evel Knievel make jumps like this, and here you are, motorcycle, can it happen tonight? This is so amazing. Go for it, man.
All right. So, yeah, what's going to happen here is I'm going to go ahead and try to jump this 500-plus bike, 200 foot. And, you know, I feel like we're going to stomp it, but you never know with this type of stuff. This bike is not made to jump. There's a reason why nobody's lining up to do this right now, and I'm the guy for it. I'm going to give them hell. I'd like to thank my sponsors, part of this for this event. Rockstar Energy stepped up and helped put this together here at the Thunderdome. The Thunderdome's been amazing. Thank you, William and his family. Here we got Record Breakers. That's Record Breakers. You're going to see a lot of cool things going on with this brand going forward. We're lining these up. If I get through this one, when I get through this one, we're setting our sights on bigger, better stuff. This is a message to, you know, the kids that grew up. They want to do something crazy. You know, they want to go big, and they don't know if they can do it. Well, you can. You put it together. You get a good team. You get the right crew. You work hard. Check all the boxes. And look where we are. I mean, I think everybody's heard my story, and we're just grinding. We're having fun. This is going to be the biggest jump of my life. We got weed maps. We got metal. This thing working. All right. Well, we're going to get after it, guys. Thank you. Thank you to my team, Eric Sorensen, Ray, Noah, Broski, Randy, Wyatt. They've been here through thick and thin. We're on the big stage. We're not going to let you guys down. We're going to go huge right now. Thank you, guys.
There it is. You know, Danger Doug down there grabbed the microphone, and the mayor's in the building. He's going to have a couple test runs here, but like you said, the wind. You ask him, the wind's not a factor, man.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's really important for people to understand. Like, this is a stock bike. I mean, obviously, a little bit different type of wheels on a handlebar setup, but I was down looking at the bike earlier. The guys did a great job setting it up, but there's no special tricks with this bike.
Taking a look at it, Tess, what do you think compared to some of the jumps that you've seen over the years? I mean, Pastrana, it's like last names.
Yeah.
Hart, Pastrana, Evil.
Well, I got
Raha.
to tell you something. I now know it's real because Colby is wearing a cape. Nothing says I am going to jump a massive distance than a man on a motorcycle wearing a cape.
Yeah, you put on a cape, you mean business.
Yeah. Here we go. If you could please stand. If you're at home, I'm going to take off the hat. The national anthem.
That's the Armed Forces rendition of the national anthem. I love it.
Just setting the mood here. The stars and stripes, the colors, Sturgis, 85 years, tribal land, the stunts that have been done here. It's so exciting just setting the stage here, and how calm Colby is. I mean, we've seen a lot of riders do so many different things, but Kristen was talking to Dwayne, his dad, and wasn't he just so calm? Did you see the dad's interview?
I didn't, but with Colby, I mean, this isn't. There's something to be said for Evil. It was like a shot of whiskey and just go.
Right. Hold that.
But he trains.
Hold that thought. Down to Kristen. Kristen, down to you.
Colby, you and I have talked about your ability to be able to flip the switch. What are you relying on in these moments leading up to your attempt?
Relying on a lot of hard work, our numbers, me and my team, we agreed on how fast to go. We never jumped this far before. We did practice last night, but put in the work, and we'll see how it goes. And of course, anybody's going to be nervous risking their life, but think about all of our military, police department, this jump. I'm honoring them on this because they risk their life every day. I don't think they get maybe the credit they deserve, but hey, you know what? They're the ones that keep this country safe. They're the ones that allow us to be able to do this. You look at other countries, you can't do this kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm risking my life, but those guys risk their lives all the time. I'm gonna do my best, and this one's for all them, so let's get it done. Thank you guys.
Colby, we're all here praying for you, wishing you the best of luck. Go get him.
Thank you so much, Kristen. And again, just love the leathers, the signature look, the whole aesthetic, just everything coming together for him. What's going to go down here? Do you know exactly, Tess?
Well, I think the big challenge here, we said it earlier in the show, there isn't really enough in-run. He's only got about 700 feet. So when you look further down this runway here, he goes towards a gas station, and then he goes to a ditch, and a ramp guy, Dane Heron, actually just built a bridge over that ditch because we had to wait. You'll see him riding over that thing now, and he's going to start from the road. But that's an insanely short amount of space to get up to 77 miles an hour, Carrie.
Well, it definitely is. I mean, and again, making the comparison, this isn't a motocross bike. I mean, you're on a street bike, and you got to allow that thing to get up to speed. So, and throw some extra obstacles in there just to make it fun for him. I mean, Jesus.
Well, Carrie, you know what? I'm going to let you relax. You go and hang out. You go chill. Big B, we'll see you tonight at the bar here in the Thunderdome. We'll hang out.
Absolutely.
Grab some cold ones, but thank you for all that you've done for the two-wheel world, and thank you for what you're doing with Good Ride as well.
Hey, all good. Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
have a great night, guys.
Great to see you.
All right, so again, getting a feel for that speed, making sure he's got the run up, he's got the speed. Also, Evil's bikes didn't have speedometers on them.
Yeah, that's actually pretty new. It's something that Colby's been talking about for a while. He's got a small speedometer on the bike, and then as you see him coming towards the ramp, one of his team nowhere there, you'll see right at the foot of the takeoff ramp, he actually has a radar gun. He's trying to match the speed that Colby sees to the speed on the gun, and then he'll give him the thumbs up. So Colby knows that his speedo is reading right. But it's really, it's a thing where he's going to get up to the speed, and in any other distance jump, he'd have some time at that speed to kind of modulate, just rest a little bit. But honestly, he's just going to get to the maximum speed he possibly can before he hits that ramp.
Well, and here he is going into dirt. He's going across the bridge. That's surface changes. So to get that grip, the slip, get it just right. I'll tell you what, with that rain and all the weather we had last night, I think it was a little Zamboni. It cleared things up a little bit, kind of dusted it off, but we're going to get another run at it. Look at him at pace, looking very calm. He talked about the position on the bike of this bike compared to his dirt bike, because usually we were talking about it off camera, he says he's more up on the bars. Like that 200-foot jump to flat in Palm Springs just a few weeks ago, he was really up on the bars. This, he's back there. He could barely get his elbows out.
If you watch what he's doing, he stands up on the foot pegs, and you know, his rear end is just above that seat, and he holds this very strange position. But the other thing that I would have everybody understand is the fact that the bike weighs 500 pounds. That's 500 pounds of mass that's going to fly and then slam down on that ramp, and it carries you with it. So that 500 pounds is carrying you with the same energy. So the strength needed to actually keep yourself up on the bike when you land it. He was talking about working out, and you see how calm Colby looks. This really, to me, is Colby Raha's signature. He is one of the calmest bike riders I've ever seen. It's why he's amazing at those quarter pipe records that he does. He goes up in the air and he hangs there for a second, and then he turns the bike down. And the same thing when he jumps, he floats with that bike, he doesn't fight it.
Yep. Live free, ride free, it's his motto. Yeah, Daredevil Dog, seeing those different things. You know, the numbers here, we're talking 500 pounds, the run up 700 feet, the gap 145. He's trying to go over 183.7 feet. That's 183 feet, 7 inches. He's going for 200. He's on this massive, just about 500 pounds, a little less than that. But, excuse me, Tess, we are about to see history.
This is it.
This is it. So tell your friends we are live at the Thunderdome in Sturgis. Record breakers. This is Raha Live, presented and powered by Rockstar Energy Drink. Here we go. Colby Raha going for the record breaker 200-foot jump on the approach. Soars it clean. What a clean landing. Where did he land?
That was almost
flawless.
I mean,
it was flawless.
He put that back end down. The front wheel was just a beat behind it. And that quietness we talked about, you see how peaceful it looked almost.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, look at, there they are. The tape is out. He could ride that bike back home to Rawville. Wait, is he running it back? He said.
Oh, one more time.
He's going for it again.
I don't think he feels that he's broken that record.
Let's take a look at it again here.
Where does he land?
It was so smooth. Look at calm. You talk about just his composure.
And, he
was short.
Short of the mark. You could see the front end was starting to lift a little bit, and I think he'd actually checked the brakes at that point, which probably slowed him a bit in the air. Yeah, just a little bit short.
There was nothing raw about that except his last name. It was so clean, so sterile. Here we go again. He's going at it. Colby Raha going for 200 feet to break 183 and 7 inches. Oh boy, he went
Did he get it?
It definitely looked further. And look at this runoff. I feel like he could just do this again.
Cornfield.
Yeah, this gentleman, he's a gardener now.
He looks like he could do this all night long. And I think he's got it this time.
The tape is out.
It's past the mark.
Tess, how amazing is this for you? I mean, you've witnessed so many of these amazing things on two wheels. There he goes to his team. What do you think?
I think that they put in the time. If you were here in Sturgis yesterday, the massive thunderstorms, the unleashing of the skies. I mean, this was a lake yesterday. That team worked literally all night long. Colby was jumping at 4 a.m. and he knew that he could actually comfortably make his jump, right? But he has to get the record.
Here it is again. I mean,
he's past this point. Watch.
You don't come out here for silver. I mean, it is like right there.
I really thought he was further down than that.
I mean, again, that front wheel is deceiving. It's about the back wheel. This is long distance jumping. If you've seen it in the Olympics, it's not about where you land on the front. It's the back foot, right? I mean, you talk about the weather, but this is the natural disaster. Colby Raha, he is showing up in grand fashion, going at it again, back at it like a track addict. Colby Raha, record breaker, going for 200 feet. Again, it looks like it exceeds that line, but let's look at the replay.
And I think his biggest challenge is this in-run speed and the inability to really get up to speed.
He's fired up.
77. Yeah, he's not happy about this.
He's fired up. I think his body awareness, that's what I'm always impressed about. You know, just any action sports athlete, their body awareness.
Remember we were talking about the wind-up toy, right? Remember the toy? It was cast from plastic, and it had this shape.
Yeah.
And you could take it off the bike, and the little hands would grip.
He's got it.
That's what he looks like in the air. He is completely frozen when he jumps. Here we go again.
A fourth attempt record breaker, Colby Raha. Massive! Wow! Absolutely massive.
He kicked the front end up.
He did a wheelie on the landing to ensure that he goes for it, and there it is. Almost to flat.
Oh, he
Colby
smashed
Raha
it.
Annihilates Seth's record, hence the name Record Breakers. Colby Raha goes for it a fourth time. It got better every time. Powered by Rockstar Energy. This lady on the back.
I think it's his wife, Kate, has come out now. And wow.
That was sick.
I was thinking this is so hard. He's riding it so perfectly. He can't get the speed. And then all of a sudden, he changes it up.
I think his grown man next to us crying right now. He's witnessing history.
It is amazing.
It's awesome, dude.
And look at this crowd. I mean, the highway here in Sturgis is practically closed down. People have just pulled over. They're watching. God, oh, and look at that. That is elation, and it's well-deserved.
That's the most hyped I've seen him. You know, all the videos, all the build-up, and it's there. Throws on the Rockstar lid.
All right, Colby, tell us how that felt. Oh my God, I feel like I ran a marathon.
Whoa, what the heck? What the hell was that, huh? 4 jumps. I know we had our math right. There's a lot of sketchy jumps leading into getting this right. My crew said 77. I went 77. We landed perfect. I executed it perfect 3 times in a row. And that last one, I left the throttle on, and this landing's small going that big, and I landed flat. That was a violent landing. I held on for dear life. I felt like Knievel on that one. We did it, Sturgis! The 85th! Thank you for coming out here, supporting this. This is a classic stamp in history. The furthest Harley-Davidson distance jump of all time. We just pulled it off. A lot of hard work goes into this. We just got confirmation. It's an official world record, 205 feet. This is what dreams are made of. I was a kid looking up to this grand stage. I'm no different than anybody out there, other than I probably just risk it to like life-threatening distances and get the job done. But I can't thank my team enough. My dad, Noah, Jason Broski, Wyatt, Randy. I'm in awe right now. Thank you guys so much. To the King, Evel Knievel, God bless everybody. Let's get this party started. Thank you guys. Thank you, Rockstar. Rockstar Energy, thank you to our veterans. Thank you to everybody in this country that keeps us safe and allows us to do this badass shit right here in America, the land of the free. Thank you guys.
There it is. It's official. Over 200 feet. 205 feet. Record breakers, hence the name. There's Steve from Rockstar. Dude, amazing.
He changed it up. He knew he had to do something different. Wow.
Hey, down there with the beat, it's Kristen B. Kristen B, down to you.
Colby, you are now a 4-time world record holder. In 2017, you showed up to the X Games with no sponsors, no support. You believed and betted on yourself. How does it feel to attain this achievement?
Put in the work, let your riding speak for itself. You know, but on this level, it takes a team. It's not all about me. I do it with my crew in order to pull it off. Senders only, Joey, you know, the boys over there, Foley, and of course my wife here, Kate. She allows me to do this stuff. You know, we're married, so she, at the end of the day, she's letting me do this crazy shit. We have a son too, a year, 7 months, name's Cannon, and yeah, it's a lot of hard work, but you put it in, and here we are. This is amazing, having a blast.
Colby, you weren't sure about the run-in distance. You weren't sure about the bike. You weren't even sure going into all of this whether or not you wanted to make a second attempt. Everyone told me you just want to do it in one attempt. You made 4. How did you acquire the courage to make those runs?
You know, the parking lot here, I don't think people understand, is it's a small parking lot for the distance we're trying to reach. I had to go 77 in order to go over 183, and I was full throttle, shifting it, coming in from as far back as I could. I started in the grass back there, keeping the thing straight around the turn and coming in hot, and I couldn't get enough speed. I think that's the part people don't think about. I didn't when we picked the venue that the parking lot would be big enough. I couldn't get up to speed, so 77 didn't get the job done, and my team, you know, said, hey, you're good. You're good. You just tied the record. You landed on the line. Video proof. I said, we came here to break a record, and we're not stopping until we do. I would have loved to break it on the first try. I would have loved to break it on the second. I couldn't believe I didn't do it on the third, but all I had to do different was instead of hauling as fast as I could go, and I had to leave it wide open off the lip. I think if the parking lot was 10 foot shorter, I wouldn't have been able to do it.
A brand new world record at 205 feet. Colby Raha, it's official. Congratulations.
Thank you everybody. Rockstar, everybody. Thank you guys. Let's go ahead, have fun. Sturgis.
What an iconic place. Sturgis, Thunderdome, a new venue, a new record is broken. Tess, you've seen a lot of things in your time. You know, again, like I said, Pastrana, Hart, Raha, alongside names. He gives his respect is due. And there's kids looking and watching this at home saying, I want to do that.
And that was exactly what we knew Colby would do. He has the skill and the patience that when he knew he had to do something different, held it wide open, wheelied that bike onto the landing, and now the sun is setting in Sturgis. It couldn't be a more perfect end to the day, and I'm sure to Colby Raha's very long week here.
There's just so many numbers, right? Again, the run up 700 feet, the bike 500 pounds, you know, all the stats here. What do you think it's going to take to hold that record?
Well,
he made it look easy.
No, I think for Colby, it's like he said earlier, not everybody is lining up to do this. Right. It's a very particular thing. You need the support behind you. But I mean, all credit to him. He, like we said, he's kind of that blue collar biker, and he absolutely crushed it tonight.
Well, history has been made. Tess, thank you so much for everything that you do. It's been an absolute pleasure. You're a legend in your own right, man. Thank you.
Well, no, this has been a fun one. I've been, spending a lot of time talking to Colby about distance jumps and how big he could possibly go. But to do this on a V-Twin, that is borderline insanity. So thanks, everyone. This has been a fantastic weekend.
Well, thank you, Tess. And of course, on behalf of Kristen B, she knows so much great knowledge. She's just so excited. I saw her just clapping like a cheerleader right there. So thank you to Kristen B and all the great insight. Thank you to all our guests that joined us here at the round table. All thriller, no filler, baby. Thank you so much. My name is Jared Dienda. On behalf of Colby Raha, Record Breakers, this has been Raha Live, powered by Rockstar Energy Drink. We'll see you online, or we'll see you another time. Send it!